All right, how's it going? How's it going, friends? Welcome to the very, very first episode of the Daily Shag. This is a concept I came up with a long time ago when I used to do. Um, I used to write a daily blog way back in the day, just about just anything and everything. And I decided, well, back then it was just too much. It was too much. I couldn't do it every day. Um, but it was still, I found myself in some version or another playing games or talking about stuff or making a video just about every day, or for a long time was. I took kind of a little bit of a hiatus recently, but it was still important for me to change my name. We're off to a great start. It was quite the endeavor back in the day, and because I was looking for something new and something different to sort of start up, I decided that we would go with this very name again. It's catchy enough. Um, all that. Of course, there's lots of stuff going wrong, as always. So not going wrong, but there's things happening, and I don't have time to fix it, nor anyone here to do so. So we're just gonna roll with it. Um, anyways, this was a show to give me a chance to work through things. It gives me a chance to work through things on my own, kind of go over some things that really kind of catch my eye. There's people are really been awesome to me in the recent past where they've sent me news stories day after day. And I don't always get to them. They often become talking points or subjects or all that stuff for my Wednesday show, the midweek hump. But I needed something for myself to do, something to work through different topics, and so this is kind of where it came. So I decided to start my very own little show that we can do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just take up about an hour and a half of everyone's time, and said I was attempting to be live over on Rumble as well. I don't know if it's working. It doesn't look like it. I don't know why it doesn't work, but we tried. Just playing my random video stinger over and over again. It is 11:15. It's 11:20, and for some reason it's not going. So try something different. Anywho, welcome to those who are in the chat. I might not acknowledge or talk directly to chat tonight because I want to eventually get this to a point where I might be able to upload it onto other platforms. It'd be weird if I was talking to chat, but if and when, we can always go back to it. So we'll start off here. We're going to start off. Everyone's favorite tech guy right now is Elon Musk, and I find him to be the most entertaining man in America. Let's take a look here. That's not really. We'll go here. Well, I'll make myself small and we can look at this. Twitter added 1.6 million daily active users this past week, another all-time high. So for all the people who are saying, "Oh, Twitter's on the downfall. It's failing. It's not doing well." And this is showing that he's not actually destroying it, or at least from their side of things, it's not looking like things are getting worse. So from 10.2 to 11.20. So I guess this is week over week. So they lost about 500,000, and then they just started gaining. Boom, 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 week after week. I think people are not giving they're not giving him a chance. What they don't understand about him is like he knows how to run a business. This guy bought Twitter, cut the fat, as it were, and now the business is running just fine. It's running just as fine as it was before. So I don't really believe what people are saying about Twitter being destroyed, about it, about it not working out. I think Elon is the master troll. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And I think he's toying with people. I think people in general are his little plaything, and he's sort of just like beep, 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 batting it around. He's a cat playing with his yarn. Something in my mouth. That was weird. Anyways, I think Elon is doing just fine. I think he's doing just fine. And I think people who think that Twitter is going to fail are foolhardy. They don't realize, I don't know. I have not noticed anything different on this platform since he took it over. I've noticed a lot of people whining. I've noticed lots of people whining. That's about it, though. But I think even fluctuations in the market, is now that he owns most of it, is it even a publicly traded company? Quite honestly, I don't even know how it works. So it's still trading. It's still trading at $53.70. It's down. I guess it's down from today, but this is intraday. Let's look over the past week. Okay, or not. I'll look over the last week. Why can't he look at this? Okay, it was just on like a really great graph, and then all of a sudden it. Okay, here we go. Last 5 days. Go to the last 5 days. Okay, so I'm gonna look at what I have. I've seen a lot of hilarious tweets about Twitter blue trolls impersonating multi-billion-dollar companies, which is absolutely hilarious. So I don't know if this is an indicator of something going wrong with Twitter, but I think if people are going to waste their money to impersonate someone, and people will be stupid enough to just look at a profile and go, "That's legit." I don't think that's anything. I think that's on the user side of things. I don't think it has anything to do with Elon's Twitter. People were impersonating other people way before you could pay for a blue check mark. But thank you. I do want to. I'll take a moment to thank everyone who showed up in chat. Bearded Gamer, Rock Reina, Killbot, Commander Phil stopping by just to say hello. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I was just going to look at I wanted to look at what their stock was the last 5 days, but for some reason it's not letting me see. Okay, over the last 5 days, the stock has gone up. So on 10, this is the last month. 1022 was trading at 49.89, and now we're at 53.70. So I don't know. Maybe that's the New York Stock Exchange, Twitter Inc. Look at year to date. Stock has been on the rise ever since. When did he buy Twitter? I mean, these trolls it's not Twitter stocks, it's the companies that the trolls have impersonated. Oh, well, that's not Twitter's fault. How's that Twitter's fault? I guess I'm confused at what you mean. I don't see how that's Twitter's fault. People who want to blame Twitter for those issues are, I don't know what to say. The Common Nerd, oh boy, Monday night, Hades, yes, hail at Shags, or hail Shagsworth, hail chat. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming by. Yeah, I don't I guess I could have shared that. I don't know why I didn't share that. But the I don't think people impersonating people have always impersonated other people on Twitter, and because Elon took over and he made it people if people are stupid enough to pay for a blue check mark to impersonate people, I don't know. I guess the joke is on them. Like I don't see what the big deal is. I guess Rock wants to say something. What's up?
I do want to say something.
Okay.
So, concerning these trolls, it is affecting market values of these individual companies. There are a certain troll who had I can't think of the word, impersonated as Eli Lilly and posted on their page saying insulin is free. Well, that dropped Eli Lilly's market down immensely. And I don't think it has recovered yet.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks. But is that Elon Musk's fault? I guess that was my point.
But there should be probably a more verification wise, especially when you're going for these bigger companies, because that is affecting people's money now.
I guess I was under the impression that he was going to differentiate between a paid check mark and a regular check mark, or like a verified you are a company who that gets.
I mean, that kind of makes it hard because that's a whole lot of non-automated process,
right?
So there has to be people hireable for that. Since he just laid off a bunch of interesting creators.
Yeah. Gubot says it's not Twitter's fault for introducing monetized check marks, but they did it way too quickly and without gauging how people would react. I don't think they need to gauge how people react, though. I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. That individual case sucks. I would be interested to see how many companies actually took major losses in that whole thing. But I don't know.
After Eli Lilly, people are a little more better, I guess.
Well, that's good.
Checking the system.
It's good. And I think people should be doing that anyways. And it's a product of like people see stuff on the internet. There's a lot of reliable stuff out there, but there's also a lot of stuff out there that is bullshit. You got to verify, you got to trust, but verify. Yeah, exactly. Look how excited I am to see you. But that would chase off companies and advertisers for using Twitter. Maybe in the short term, not in the long term. Twitter's not going anywhere. I just don't. No. I don't see it going anywhere. Elon draws too many good things. Like he's extremely profitable. He's a smart businessman. He occasionally makes dumb decisions. I guess you could chalk this up as dumb, but people will still come. They'll be apprehensive, maybe, but it's not going to pull people away. This is still the town center on the internet. That's not changing.
I feel like it was just that this particular incident. I believe it was just rushed, and it was pushed without any kind of like actual thought into it.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Always trust.
Do your own research.
Yeah. You gotta. I mean, especially when you have to. I don't know. I will agree that this was rushed. The rollout of the paid checkmark was rushed. But what's funny too is that I used to have Twitter Blue. I tested it for a few months to see how I would like it because it was only like $2 a month or something like that at the time. And now it's not even available on anything but an iPhone, which I thought was hilarious. Like I signed up for it on my Android, used it, and it was fine. Like Twitter Blue has all the features that should come with Twitter. Like you should be able to like set, like the editing feature isn't really an editing feature. It's just a like hit tweet and then you have like 60 seconds to change it. And then you can go back. Oh, fuck, a spelling mistake. And you go back and you retype. So it's one of those things where I think that feature should just be already on Twitter. You can also put, unless they changed it, but you could also make bookmark folders, which was nice. Like you could like have like, oh, I want this for this show, this for this show. It's really cool, but I don't know why that's not already implemented. I guess they have to monetize something. But
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how how much more Elon is willing to go for monetizing this platform.
Well, he just actually, I think, where's the tweet I just had? I'll share this again because it's right. Wait, am I sharing? Okay, apparently that's not the right window. Here it is. Right here, Mr. Beast commented, "I wonder what YouTube's daily activities actives is." And then right below that, he says, "Let's see what happens when Twitter offers good video with higher compensation for creators." He's going after the YouTube audience, yeah, which would also mean that you could probably monetize more on Twitter with video, and you'd actually be able to share like links to your video, like if it's through Twitter, and it not be, because if you share a link that goes to YouTube on Twitter, it deranks that tweet big time.
It's a whole different process once you start actually allowing videos, like huge, large form videos onto your platform.
Mm-hmm.
It requires a whole lot of infrastructure.
Right. And I imagine that's something that'll come out later. He did just lay off a bunch of people, but I assume he will build like a better, more reliable group of people. Yeah. Like if he wants to scale in that way, in video, then he's going to need good people to do it. He's not going to keep the handful that he has. Again, he's not stupid. He built SpaceX and he built Tesla and PayPal, and or I guess he invested in PayPal, but like,
I didn't think he was stupid. I think he's late.
He might be.
I think he's late when trying to push on these things, especially for a message board like Twitter.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like time will tell. I don't know if he would have shelled out that kind of money if he thought that he was a little too late to the game. I think he has ideas on where to take this next, right? Like, like it's gone as far as it goes. Now he's got to push the envelope. Is it video that's going to be next? Very well could be. I don't know. But he's like, Twitter's been fairly the same for, the 12 years I've been on it, at least. It hasn't changed all that much. So if he's able to integrate video into it and compensate creators for it, I think there's a lot of people want to jump on that wagon, Maybe. And this is what creates good competition. If Twitter's going to do something like this and they have a huge market share of video, and people putting all that stuff out, now YouTube has to adapt to it. They have to find a better way to compensate their creators. They already do a good job at being able to monetize or monetization methods rather.
Yeah. It's actually a very good idea, because have you seen mainstream media nowadays? That's mostly what they show is Twitter posts and a lot of, internet posts online.
Yep.
Which Twitter being the main one, so that's where all the bigger companies are, and that's where all the big people are, and that's where they're showing. So that they allow these large form videos and or just streaming, that could be fairly interesting for mainstream media.
The common nerd says, "I want free speech. I want to know the jerks." Yeah, I think it's fair. I think he wants that for the most part. I don't know why. There was tweets of him saying that he won't let Alex Jones back on the platform. I don't know why that is. Oh, I just realized why I'm not live on Rumble.
Oh.
Maybe this will help.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. Okay, well, we'll see. I'll see if that corrects it. I don't know if it will, but we'll give it a couple minutes to see if that kicks in. But yeah, I think that's what Elon wants, Common Nerd. I think he wants a better place to talk and not just immediately get shut down. And that's why you're seeing accounts like Trump come back. You're seeing Reparatations Law come back. You're seeing Project Veritas come back, because he believes in that too, like sort of an open area of ideas. There's a better way to say that, but that's all I can think of right now.
You think it might be a first? Do you think it's him not unbanning Joe Rogan is by a personal vendetta?
Well, Joe Rogan's not banned.
Oh, who was it you were talking about? I'm sorry.
It's God damn, what's his name? Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, thank you. I think it might be like a personal vendetta on that one.
I don't think so. I think I think Alex Jones is a liability in some ways. We just saw him. I mean, Alex Jones is a news outlet. I mean, InfoWars is a news outlet. I think they sued him personally, not InfoWars. So in that case, I guess they won a civil suit against him because they being the parents of the Sandy Hook kids, because he said it was all, it was all a lie. And so he paid a lot. He's paying a lot of money, close to, I think, $1 billion in reparations back to them for damages. So it could be that. It could be, he's a liability. He says a lot, but he has apologized over the years. He's also been very right about a lot of things over the years. Maybe not in the moment, but things have come to light several years after. I don't know. I'm sure he has his reasons. He also could be fucking with people. I mean, that whole poll.
It wouldn't be below him, honestly.
Right. The whole poll, like, and that's the other thing, is that he did the Twitter poll to see if Trump should come back on to the platform. There's no way that he hadn't already made up his mind about him coming back on the platform. That is Elon Musk screwing with every single person on the internet, because you see everyone on the right going, yeah, this is awesome. And of course they vote yes. Right. And then everyone on the left is saying, no, you can't be on here. He's dangerous. And they're just losing their minds. And then as soon as the poll is in favor of Trump coming back, it's oh my God, can you believe he's just gonna set rules and everything by a Twitter poll? Oh my God. Like, he's fucking with these people, and it's so funny to watch. I don't know. I think he's wrong about Alex Jones, though. I think Alex Jones should be allowed back on the platform.
Well, there's just like a liability case on there. I mean, for that, just read a EULA or terms of service.
Right.
Twitter has no affiliate based on what a person would say on top of their platform, since it's a free message board.
Right. Oh, it is working now. We are live on Rumble. Cool.
Woo!
That's dope.
I mean, it's just basically like suing someone on 4chan because they hate babies.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, there's certainly a lot of Trump derangement happening now that he's back on the platform. I believe he has still not tweeted a damn thing since his account has been reinstated. But that's
the smartest move.
Well, I think, I mean, he started Truth Social, so I think he's going to stick with that. I'm sure at some point he will tweet out from his account, and everyone will lose their minds on the left and the right. People, they just.
Do you think he just hasn't realized yet?
No, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows. And I'm sure he found out and looked himself in the mirror and kissed himself several times, and I'm the man. But
maybe you got a PR team telling him.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I'm sure there's nothing that this guy doesn't know right now. Again, say what you want about Trump, but the man's in the know, and he's much like Elon. Like, he has his finger on the pulse of a lot of stuff. He's not always right, but he knows what he's doing sometimes. So there's a really good opinion piece that was in the New York Times that I really wanted to share because it was just so incredibly stupid. I did. Was that why there was a buffer in the live? Probably. But yeah, we are live over on Rumble. If you guys care to watch, the link is insanely long because it just takes I'm not even going to put that in chat. I will. If you guys do want to watch over on Rumble and give us a little vote, a little upvote, a little Rumble, feel free.
What is that? That's a book.
It is a book. Yeah. We don't get to choose, but we're going to be doing more gaming streams over there. So we were able to, since we have a locals, and locals is directly attached to Rumble, I was able to contact someone at locals, and they were able to up my account to the pro level. So I'm no longer limited to the amount of live streams I can do each month, and they can be up to like 24 hours in length at a time. So a lot of good stuff. But anyways, this opinion piece from the New York Times. I studied Trump's Twitter for 6 years, and I lost so much sleep, and I Can't believe I did it and I didn't eat for 1,000 years. Prepare for the worst. Boo-hoo-hoo. So this is by Brian L. Ott. Brian Lott. Dr. Ott is a professor of communication at Missouri State University and a co-author of the Twitter Presidency, Donald J. Trump and the Politics of White Rage. Yeah. So the situation at Twitter has been chaotic. For the past few weeks, new owner Elon Musk introduced a major product and then paused it. He dismissed hundreds of employees and then asked them to return. I don't.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know what this is all about. I'm sure there's an article attached to it, but I don't know. But nothing Mr. Musk has done and undone is nearly as concerning as his decision to suddenly reinstate former President Donald Trump's account. Like many of Mr. Musk's decisions as the company's chief twit, this one is hard to understand. It's not hard to understand. It's really easy to understand that Elon Musk agrees with people being able to share their thoughts in an open forum and be able to say what they want, short of calling for violence against someone else. Like he even said that. He said that this is not a free speech platform. Like you still can't call for violence against another person, which totally is understandable.
Makes sense.
Right. Mr. Musk has previously said he would reinstate any accounts until a content moderation council wouldn't reinstate any accounts until a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints convenes. It's unclear if a council has ever convened. Mr. Trump's account was reinstated after Mr. Musk conducted an online poll, something he's historically done to get buy-in for something he's already decided to do. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knew exactly what he was going to do before he put that poll out. I know, Yoshi. For some reason, Twitter didn't change. I'm sorry, Twitch didn't change the whole thing, the game that I'm playing. Yeah, I just wanted to share this because it's clear that, and this was one of the problems I had with Trump running in 2024 for president again, is that all of these outlets that were running dry on content to write about are now like, it's all ripe for the picking. Like they should be thrilled that he is running in 2024 because now they have something to talk about. It's and then articles like this come out and they, and I just
again, it's a very opinionated piece. Whatever Ott
right
has to say is purely his opinion.
Yeah, and again, you have to remember this is opinion. This isn't any sort of like fact-based article. This is just this guy screaming into the void and hoping people take him seriously.
Hey,
but that's one of the reasons that people don't often look at opinions and understand that that's just what they are. Like everything that's said on this show is my opinion. I am taking what I'm reading and I'm giving you my thoughts on it. And I mean, I do some extensive reading on things, but I'm making I'm doing my own opinion pieces on every single thing I bring up. And this guy's doing something just the same. But people read stuff like this and think, oh, he's a doctor. Well, he must be well read. Like, no, he's speaking from his emotion. That's it. He was mad about Trump 6 years ago. He was mad every single day he was in office until he left. He got the biggest hard on when January 6th happened. And then and everything after that. And this is, again, it's more fodder for them, down the line. And it's just, it makes me so mad. But people are stupid enough to believe like all that, like it's a dangerous move or it's not the right thing. And Elon has said, like, I want widely different viewpoints, as in he wants intellectual diversity. He doesn't want, the regular old skin deep diversity.
You got to take these opinions by your own thought. Like you got to come up with your own opinions, your own morals based on what you want to see, no matter what we tell you, what they tell you, because At the end of the day, it's just a push of propaganda, just to get them on your side or on their side.
No, yeah, and that's going to happen, and that's why, like, it is.
It's rough. I know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but that's the thing is, like, if you're going to be in a space, if you're going to, and Twitter's no different than standing in the middle of the town talking, into the void. The people who are standing on the corner preaching the word of God, or they're trying to get you to buy something, they believe in what they're saying. Just like if you are in the virtual town square yelling into the void, like, have some conviction, stand behind what you say, and it's okay. Your audience will come, or it won't, or it'll disappear. It's like, I don't care that people are writing this stuff. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that someone's life is so affected by a man they will never probably ever meet. But yeah,
it's crazy.
So yeah, Trump derangement is alive and well. Let me. I know there's another one here. At least I thought there was. I mean, there's plenty, if we're being honest. Killbot says, "Why the hell do my brain got to crave homemade strawberry sauce when I got no strawberries? I don't know.
Maybe you're just hungry.
Oh my god!
Maybe you should eat."
Yoshi the Oreo over on Twitch says, 6 years studying tweets. I thought I was a loser.
He has a doctorate in Twitter.
Yeah. I spent 6 years studying for this test. Oh my god. Let me see here. I know I got some more. Well, there's okay. So I mean, the other parts of you'll appreciate this, Rock, because you're in this world. This changed from I'm not going to reach out to I want to. Yeah, it did. Well, people were talking. I gotta talk to them, I guess. Still working out the kinks. There, this article. Oh, what is this not here? Oh, here it is. Because people couldn't possibly keep Trump's name out of their mouth. What Donald Trump and Sam Bankman-Fried have in common, because there's a lot in common. Don't go anywhere because there's lots of fun stuff. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried crypto empire went bankrupt gradually, then suddenly, to borrow a line from Ernest Hemingway. Maybe that's how we will look back on Donald Trump's political currency too. No one's thinking about it anymore. Just these weirdos who can't let it go. The two disruptive figures operate on different ends of the political spectrum, yet both achieve success in similar ways and have fallen into disrepute.
Disrepute?
Is that how you say that? I feel like it should be like disrepute for similar reasons.
Disrepute.
Both became famous by building a marketing juggernaut, befriending celebrities, and projecting an aura of success. Okay, so Donald Trump is objectively has been a successful businessman. He has gone bankrupt, but he has come back from bankruptcy and built, $1 million empire, maybe even $1 billion empire. Like, he's not a successful businessman to this day. Like, he's not living in destitute now. I mean, he just had a presidential run announcement from his private club in Florida. So he's doing all right. Both exploited the political predispositions of their supporters. For Mr. Trump, a conservative grievances against America's liberal ruling class. Donald Trump, by the way, is like a lifetime Democrat. For Mr. Bankman-Fried, progressive intellectual vanities. I don't know much. I'll be honest. I don't know much about what happened with FTX. I haven't. There was a lot to look into, and I don't really. It's not really my forte.
I can explain if you want.
What? Oh, here's my phone. Jesus, I keep hearing this thing go off.
I can explain what happened with FTX if you want.
Well, we don't have to do that right now, but boring. Maybe in a second you can add to what's being said here. But so where? Oh, here we go. Consider Mr. Bankman-Fried. Fried? I don't know. Not only was the 30-year-old vegan, the second biggest donor to Democrats this election cycle, he championed fashionable progressive causes such as carbon neutrality, inclusive capitalism, whatever that is, and effective altruism. He even tapped Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bündchen as FTX's environmental and social initiatives advisor. I came to FTX after I spoke to Sam's dad, Joseph Bankman, a Stanford law professor, who was really into environmental education. How did this was originally phrased? Let me see how this was originally phrased, because it was really funny. And I think Elon Musk even commented on this, because I do. So the original tweet was, FTX failed because Sam Bankman-Fried's supporters lost confidence in him. This may be how Donald Trump finally crashes and burns too. And the funny thing was, is Elon was like, yeah, that's not what happened to FTX at all. It wasn't about losing confidence. So let me go back here. Let me just find a little bit more in depth. So do you want to explain how like the FTX thing happened? Like what?
So FTX was one of the largest exchanges, probably like the fourth or the fifth largest exchange for cryptocurrency. It had its very own token called FTT, which functioned as a loyalty program for like a bunch of its people that were getting into it. Basically, you would put liquidity onto the market, and you would get that FTT token back in return as a liquidity token.
Okay.
And then that liquidity token has value as well.
Right.
But somewhere along the way, I think in November, Amadalas, which is like a side company part of FTX that had a 14 billion balance sheet, was held in FTT's. How do I explain this? I can't explain it very well. I'm stumbling over my words.
It's fine. Let me see if I can. Well, it sounds like a lot of money went missing really quickly.
Well, Binance, which had a large holding at FTT, which is part of FTX exchange,
Right.
they dumped 23 million of FTT, sending the price pretty low. And when you see a price dump like that very fast, it tends to trigger a lot of FOMO, which is fear of missing out,
Right.
or FUD. And when that happens, people tend to get out of it as fast as possible, and so it just free falled, and it continually downtrend. And I'm telling you, it free falled for about 3 days before craziness started happening. So FTX was trying to get some of its money back from Amondala, and then trying to sell it to Binance, and Binance looked at balance sheets from FTX, and it just wasn't looking good for them anymore after Binance is sold.
Well, I was reading that there wasn't even like it was all done on like there was nothing on the up and up with FTX. It seemed like there was a lot of like backdoor like text messaging that was like their record keeping. No, it's not all of it, but there wasn't a whole lot of like legitimate dealings with.
We're in the bear market. So when a bunch of IOUs happen, especially with cryptocurrency, when you leverage and do option trading, that tends to happen. People like to tend to short on markets like that, and it doesn't end up well. In a bear market, what Binance had did when it started selling its FTT tokens, it was trying to reaccumulate its money back into its own market, because such of the bear market is already disrupting its company. So when that happens, it's just cascading effects of these companies pulling from the same tokens.
Right.
For it being like the fifth largest one, it's probably the most extreme. But you could say the same thing if FTX were to take a similar Binance token and say, hey, I want to make sure my exchange is okay, and dump your specific token so my exchange can survive. So it's a big hogwash, and really, really bad. And when bear markets happens, you really see where this happens. And recently, FTX had some kind of hacker now, quote unquote hacker. That's what a lot of exchanges say, that they have these hackers when they're just trying to buy out, trying to get out. altogether.
Right. Ugh, that's why I don't
Which
watch
means
crypto YouTube guys.
that's why they dump a bunch of that's why they just dumped. That's why it's trash now. And it sorry, it makes it sad, but these central exchanges like that have a central currency and a bunch of IOUs isn't going to cut it.
Ooh, Lamborghini. You might want to hold on to that one. Yeah, it's really
The common nerd, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Every single point in any market trades, if you bought, just hold. Just hold it until it goes up because it will always go up in the past history for the stock market at least.
right.
No matter how low it went.
Yeah, it's just it's funny watching these, but it's just funny watching these like these publications like make excuses for people. Like they have no problem disparaging someone like Trump, which whatever, I guess. You know, he has his faults, but like then they'll like I've just seen multiple things where they're just making excuses for this guy. What's his name? Sam Bankman. Like I don't know. It doesn't seem good, and they're just not being truthful about things that they should probably be truthful about. The lovely Sherry, how you doing? Welcome. Oh, it looks like you're on the wrong account, but hey, welcome to the real account. Let me see. What do we got?
So apparently Binance, which is CZ, announced that it was having a deal to buy FTX and then completely abandoning it altogether because there's too many holes in the company's finances.
Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about with like the article. The other article I read about it was basically saying like when Binance was trying to look into the company a little bit, they realized like there was like next to no record keeping. Whatever record keeping was there was like a couple of people, you know, like exchanging some messages. They were even communicating with like emojis to do certain things. I feel really dumb. I have to step away real quick. Will you?
Yeah.
On the
I'll
show
keep
for a
talking
second?
to them.
Okay.
I'll keep talking to them. What's up, people? He's gone. It's my show now. You didn't realize, but this is the Rock Arena Show daily show. But I'm here now. So apparently, SBF had created a secret backdoor in FTX's bookkeeping and allowed him to move depositors' money off the exchange to a different company called Amidala. And that was the main reason why there wasn't a whole lot of trust back into it, because basically Binance did an audit on FTX and didn't trust him. And Binance being one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world, crypto exchanges in the world, central, kind of turned people away from FTX. So really, what's safe? I don't know. There's no telling what's safe. Ultimately, you're just going to have to try to give your money to either trust a federal backer or trust your own self by going into definancialized DeFi, other stuff. It's crazy. Just be safe out there. Make sure you research. Make sure you get everything involved before you put money into something.
Yep, I agree. Don't listen to crypto bros.
Not financial advice, by the way. I can't give such things.
Right. So here's a fun story that I do want to look more into this because I was blown away when I saw it. I just thought, what the fuck? Biden agrees to pay climate reparations. U.S. will pay up to $1 billion to compensate developing countries for global warming, but gas guzzling China won't have to pay into the global fund. This is nothing new, by the way. This is the reason we dropped out of the Paris Accords as well, because we were footing the bill for other countries to continue to pollute. Like we were lowering our emissions, and other countries, giant countries like Russia and China and India, weren't doing their job, and we were putting more money into it. Everyone thinks like, oh, fuck Trump for getting us out of this. He wants to destroy the environment. No, the US, for everyone who needs to know, like has been on the decline for carbon emissions for at least the last 10 years, probably longer.
Way longer.
And you know, we know we're going to do that. Even through all of Trump's deregulation and like EPA stuff, we still took care of the environment, because that's just like what you do anyway. We're just conscious of it, because at the end of the day, it's not Trump saying we're getting rid of all this stuff and now I'm going to go dump toxic waste in your backyard. You know, there's independent companies who still make their own policies and still follow all the guidelines. A lot of that EPA stuff was to help the automotive industry actually make cars cheaper, because if you had noticed, when all these regulations had gone into effect, cars had gotten really expensive because they had to operate within a certain, within certain regulations. So deregulating helped the automotive industry like huge. And I've talked with people like in the automotive industry at some of the highest levels that say like this was bullshit back in the day, and like him removing those regulations helped bring car prices down. So
I'm curious what exactly that does. I mean, how much you can't. Okay, you put in this money into these developing countries. Where are these developing countries going to go? They're going to go where the money is. The money is in gas and oil,
right,
or coal. So they're going to continue to burn gas, oil, and coal because that's where the money is.
Right.
So it doesn't make very much sense as to why this is doing. I mean, if they specifically say this $1 billion compensation is going to go towards maybe what's it called? The uranium plants, the nuclear plants.
So this is like the quick spark notes of it. This is on the Daily Mail. Biden agrees to pay climate reparations. U.S. will pay up to $1 billion to compensate developing countries, but gas guzzling China wanted to pay. The fund, negotiated at UN's COP27 summit, was originally known as a loss and damage fund and has been blocked by previous administrations because they're not stupid. The deal is already more than a day late, as nearly 200 nations were anxious for an accord they could bill as a step forward in the fight against climate change. And, again, like everyone, it just depends on where you sit with the whole climate change thing. Is the climate shifting? Probably. Is it the cause of humans? Don't know. Is there anything that we can actually do about it? Since, we have largely been doing something about it for the past few decades. The nations involved are largely from Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean and the South Pacific. Biden was granted $1 billion to help developing. And where's this money coming from? First of all, they plan on printing it. Is that what they're going to do? Or where is it? Is it on the American taxpayer at this point? Although it's unclear if that cash will go into this fund, the president also faces having his plans stymied by the GOP majority House, which would have to approve any funding. So this is like the saving grace here, is that hopefully the GOP majority House now will step in and go, no, not that much. Again, I have to look through this more. This is something that came to my attention, and I want to look at it a little bit closer, because I'm not thrilled that we're going to be sending even more money away from this country to other countries. Because the other thing is too, is when you give money to people who don't know how to manage that money, it's like giving it's like giving candy to a baby. Like it's like giving cocaine to a crackhead.
There you go. It's exactly.
Like you're not doing them any favors. They don't know how to use it sparingly. They don't know how to be responsible with it. Like, there's an alcoholic. Well, we'll just give him a beer. No, he's gonna search out and this is how you also get nanny states too, right? Like then they have like these countries are looking to us for more help. They're not becoming dependent on themselves. And how is this money going to be tracked? Like, again, that might be in here. Again, I need to read more into it because I think it's important to know. Here's a little something here. Donald Trump famously pulled the U.S. out of the 2015 UN Paris Accord on climate change, saying it represented a bad deal for America, which Anyone who knows anything about it agrees it was a very, very bad deal for America, with DeSantis known to share many of the 45th president's views. China, the world's biggest polluter, wouldn't have to contribute to any global fund because it is still considered a developing nation despite its vast wealth. But that's the other thing, like in China's case, I feel like they are considered a developing nation, but
I would say
feel
more socially, but economically, they're in
yeah,
the running tops. So
that's what I thought.
developing nations kind of like the gray area
Yeah,
for China.
right. And that's what, like, when I read that, I was like, there's some wordplay going on here, because they are way more than a developing nation at this point. The money will go toward helping them cope with disasters like flood and drought that they say they have been made worse by climate change. Again, how could you possibly I would love to know how they're measuring that these floods and droughts are being caused by climate change. What is, again, I'm not saying that, I hate sounding like this, but like, how are you correlating the two? What are we using as a metric? Because there's been plenty of times in the past where, like, some years you get crazy snowstorms, other years you get crazy heat waves, and then the next couple years it's kind of back to normal. It's just doing its thing. So is that what they're talking about? They're talking about these weird weather patterns that people are having, and they're having, like, stronger storms. Is that, because I don't know how many times in your lifetime, Rock, but I know there's been several times where, like, hurricane season comes around, and there's like hurricane after hurricane after hurricane, and people are like, oh my God, this is the worst. It's getting worse. And then, like, the 2 or 3 years after that, you don't really hear much. There's just a couple hurricanes. And then again, oh my God, this is the worst we've ever seen. It's like, wasn't that a couple of years ago? Like,
I do believe it is getting a little worse because the science does back it. By this climate change, they may not have sorted their sizes on that one exactly on these developing countries, but there is research that suggests that due to emissions, climate change is happening. And I have to go with the facts.
Hey, I don't know either way. I really don't. And if it does, like, I will never ever be against, like, just doing the right thing for the environment.
No, I agree.
Do the right
thing.
Yeah, I think, like, do I think we should move away from, some fossil fuels? Sure. Our economy, the world economy, is way too dependent on it. Like, it's not just gasoline that's made from oil. Like, there's dozens of other things that are byproducts of it. Do I think we should invest more in nuclear energy? Absolutely. I think it's really smart to invest in a cleaner energy, a more sustainable energy. People are afraid of nuclear energy, obviously, because of past giant events. But, I still think that more people have died from, I have to look the statistic up, but I think more people have died from, like, fossil fuel plants exploding than nuclear power plants, like, going, so, like, we got to weigh one against the other. But if people are so into clean energy, well, then we got to source that. We know, right? Nuclear is the way to go. So, but hey, what do I know? I'm just an asshole sitting behind a computer.
Yeah, I'm just some dude.
Just some dude.
Relax. Just some dude behind a computer.
Rich countries, including the United States and those in Europe, have for decades resisted the idea of so-called loss and damage fund for fear it would open them up to legal liability for their historic greenhouse gas emissions. This is also true. I mean, they become dependent on it. We're giving them money, and if they don't reduce it, now we're on the hook or we haven't given them enough money. So, look at the death.
Okay, that doesn't make very much sense. I mean, think about that logically. Why would we be giving them more money make us more on the hook?
Because we've given them the ability to do so. I don't know. I think it's some circular thing, but
I mean, you can give a man an apple, doesn't mean he has to eat it.
Right, but then am I responsible if he chokes on it? I gave him the apple. The man's dead because he couldn't chew or swallow.
It had
It's
more teeth
Davey
then.
says, just look at the death rate on oil rigs and even on wind parks, much more than on nuclear power plants. Right.
Yep.
Right. You know, you murderer. Yes. Chinese climate envoy Xi Zhenhu. I don't know. I can't say that. Welcome Saturday, the resumption of formal talks with U.S. counterpart John Kerry, as very conservative as the world's two top polluters ended a freeze in cooperation. The senior officials met during the UN's COP27 conference in Egypt after U.S. President Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping agreed at a G20 summit in Indonesia earlier this week to resume collaboration on climate change. Beijing suspended the talks in August in anger at U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. That's a whole other fucking...
That's crazy.
Right. Abomination AJ, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Our Ogre says, here's a thought. Clean up the environment by banning climate summits that require billionaires to fly around in private jets polluting everything. I don't disagree. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, what, like, and this is the problem with, like, I don't know, the problem I have with, like, globalism. Like, if we become too, like, if we're in this, we're all in it, we can still be in the, we're all in it together, and, like, by taking care of our parts of the world, like, can we still hold each other responsible, like each nation responsible? Like, hey, China, like, you're supposed to be doing this. I don't know. It's like, I'm kind of like, do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, we can still be one world nation, quote unquote, by still taking care of our individual nations, like, because we are one human people. I don't think the globalist government is the way to go by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, that's how you could reduce things like that. Like, no, we don't all have to fly to fucking Egypt for a conference, for a climate summit, when we could like, the leaders of our nation, you know, the United States, could all meet here somewhere and discuss the things that we need to do. I mean, call me crazy.
I mean, as a global effect, you would want these nations, all these nations, to be on board and benefiting, because it does whatever the global effect does. We may be downtrending towards our emissions, but another country may be still uptrending, such as India or China. Actually, India's been a lot better. That's wrong country.
Wow, I've never seen a worse Dark Souls playthrough. I know this sucks, man. I know. We're working the kinks out. All right. We're working the kinks out. A lot of things would be much better if those in power were just to go with, let's work with what we have and make it better, instead of ban it all. We all know why the ban route is always chosen, and those without morals start moralizing about the effing weather. Guyver UK, what's going on? Politics and the Dark Souls of Dark Souls. It is. See, maybe this is Dark Souls. We have agreed that after the COP, we will continue formal conversations, including face-to-face meetings, because we got to burn more fossil fuels to get to see each other. It's really important we do that. He told reporters, calling that he has known Kerry for more than 2 decades. But he has also highlighted lingering differences with Western nations, rejecting the idea that China should no longer be considered a developing country, though it is now the world's second largest economy. Like, yeah, it says it right there. The world's second largest economy, and maybe arguably the largest economy, considering we have like 0 GDP growth. My
face. I'm sorry.
Like, these, I don't know, man. Like, this is the problem with, you know, China is not a developing country. Like, they are a lot of things. A developing country is not one of them. Yeah, it's half fake. Is it? Oh my God, I am like not feeling great. The distinction in status is key. Under the terms of Bedrock 1992 UN Climate Treaty, developed countries are supposed to financially help developing nations in their energy transitions and efforts to build resilience against climate impacts. The Paris Agreement, as you said, also made it very clear that the responsibility to provide finance lies with developed countries. This is why the United States should not be involved. We should not be involved. We do our job. We do our job. Plenty of our job. More. The issue was at the heart of the contentious debate of COP27 was on establishing a loss and damage fund to compensate poor countries already devastated by the fallout from global warming. So this is a way for him to get back into all this stuff and funding other countries in their fight against global warming. Again, like, I don't even know if I would necessarily have a problem with this if I knew exactly what was being done. But the problem is that with big things like this, they're gonna come out with a 3,000-page document that's going to be stuffed with pork, not just for stuff for other countries, but they're going to throw in other things. That's what they do every single time. Every single time, there's always some part of a bill that has nothing to do with it's being written about. And that's the issue, is that we're not going to get the full scale of should we help? Like, could we help a country that's like I'm trying to think of a country. So Haiti has been devastated over the past decade, right? From storms and all that stuff. Like, could they benefit from this thing? Yeah. Like, I don't even think you need to call it climate change money. They could probably just use a fucking hand. Like, they could just use a hand getting their infrastructure up. Like, is that so bad? Again, it kind of goes back to, is it smart to give these countries a bunch of money, essentially a blank check, when they can't even manage what they have?
Honestly, it's starting to sound like hush money. Like, it really does start to sound like hush money. Like, we understand that these nations who are wholly developed by these economically could do and change this thing, and if you are being affected by it, we really don't want to hear about it.
Well, and the other thing is too, is if you haven't read this book, you should try and read it. It also has it gives me vibes of economic hitmen. Like, we send essentially master economists to these countries, and they become financially responsible to us, and that's how we take control of a lot of countries. Is not through military force, but we go in and say, hey, we'll build a bunch of infrastructure for you, and in exchange you'll give us this. And when they can't pay up, that and world leaders have been killed over this stuff because they don't want to relinquish control. So what do, they get rid of those leaders, and they install their own leaders. And this is all very well documented stuff that the U.S. has been involved in. And that's what I almost get vibes of here, is let's go into these countries and we can strong arm them for their natural resources, or or whatever. I don't know. It's not doesn't seem like it's on the up and up.
We'll see how that goes.
What's that?
I said we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. It'd be interesting. I'm interested to see how this develops. If it's something that's proposed and could happen, now that there's control of House and Senate with the Republicans, I don't see it going anywhere. I'm sure there's some Republicans who will want to support it, but I don't see it passing as much as they want it to. Yeah.
Crazy world.
It is really crazy. There was where's this other thing I wanted to show? It's not up here. Where's my bookmarks? Oh, here it is. Do I even want to look at this?
They're not communists, not even by a long shot. If you look at their politics and how the party's organized now, they appear to be more fascist than communist. He's talking about China.
Oh. Where is this? Here we go. No, I want this. So this is there's another side of all of this that I would like to politics aside, there's the cultural side of things that I feel are, being whittled away very slowly. Like just our general standards on things. And there's a video I saw passed around. Again, this is an isolated case. Like the one I'm going to show you is just like one side of it, but I see this more and more. Like I see more single instances of this more and more on TikTok and like YouTube shorts and stuff, and libs of TikTok post stuff like this all the time. So that's, I'm worried that this stuff is becoming so normal, and like this behavior becomes normal, that it slowly erodes, cultural values that we have or have had. And, mine, I guess, I don't know. I keep saying like, oh, I used to be so progressive and so liberal. And then I had this like red pilling. Like the more I think about it, the more I like, there are certain things that I towed the line on as far as progressivism goes. But like most of my life, like when I look at it, I was fairly conservative with things. I just wasn't outwardly vocal on it. I mean, I grew up with guns in my house. We went shooting on the weekends. I'm trying to think of like we went to church. Like we were a church going family. I didn't always go to church. I took kind of a different route with stuff, but I still went for, probably 13, 14 years of my life. But I understood like what it was to like, kind of follow the commandments and also like do unto others and all that stuff that was like, really important. That I think like now, if you were to say that stuff, people would be like, oh my God, like what? But at the same time, I was partially like accepting of like sex work. Like, oh, and I am to a degree, like, hey, if that's what you want to go do it. But I'm certainly not going to promote that as like, yeah, this is good, But
not my cup of tea kind of thing.
Right. But there was a time where I was like, oh, that's really good and noble, blah. And not anymore. Anyways, so I'll show you this real quick. Let's volume up.
About these young, pretty conservative women. Here's what I find so tragic about these young, pretty conservative women. You're such a gaslighted demographic because one of the pillars of this ideology that you're bought into is that some people are just inherently superior and inferior people deserve to be exploited. And sure, women are technically property, but you don't have to worry about that because you are hot property.
This is where it starts, right? So she's making fun of her because like she's an attractive young woman, saying that she's conservative essentially. And now it starts that, oh, you're a commodity to these men, but that's all going to wear off one day. And I can't help but think it was at this point that I started thinking, a little projection maybe. Maybe you're past your prime, lady, and you're upset that maybe your husband traded in for a newer model. I don't know. I can only speculate, but like just some bitter old woman wearing her fucking drapes as a shirt. Like, I don't know. I'm obviously
she looks like a lady who charges her rocks in the river.
Right, like she looks like when she was younger, she was probably really pretty. She still is arguably like a pretty woman.
Yeah, she's good looking.
But like, she's mad that she's not, 21 and blonde and, perfect skin and all that. So
exceptions will be made for you. So you're more than willing to play into this needlessly cruel game because you've been assured that you'll win. And soon the young winning man of your dreams will look at you and say, yes, that is what I'm supposed to want. And acquiring her will make me look like a superior man. And on your way to your superior life together.
What a way to think about men too. Like that's what it's come down to, is that women think that men just want a young, good looking woman. Like, sure, that's great, I suppose. But like, there's plenty of men out there who want like someone who they vibe with, who they connect with on a deeper level, not just a superficial level. Like, I mean, like high value men are looking for that connection. Like when you're young and dumb and stupid, like all you want to do is like tip your wick and everything. Excuse me. And run through them, but like, again, it's just assuming that all men are pigs is like what I'm hearing from this poor woman. Again, seems like a lot of projection and oddly specific what she's
all
saying.
men's are pigs and all conservative women are property.
Right.
Whether you will become his obedient, righteous, lonely domestic servant. Congratulations. Until
She's starting to cry.
one day you get a scary mammogram and you discover that he never signed up to be a nursemaid. And unlike you, the young 24-year-old bleach blonde at the office understands that he's the most important person in any room. And she'll have no qualms about poaching your mate because he's her ticket to a superior life.
Again, oddly specific in this case. One day you get a mammogram and it's not going to be good, and your husband's going to realize, I'm not taking care of that bitch. She sucks. On to the next one. Like
it almost like a lot of projecting. This woman had a really shit husband or whoever she was with. And I do feel bad for her, but to go after an entire populace?
Yeah.
Come on.
Stupid, man. And like, again, it sounds like she had a really low value man who, didn't provide anything. Sure. Just wanted the trophy. Absolutely. And so painting the entire opposite sex because maybe this woman could be a dud for all we know. Maybe she sucked. It takes two to tango, and may not just be, obviously the guy is an asshole if that was the case, but like, good Lord.
Who hurt you, ma'am? Who hurt you?
And at that moment, when the handle has snapped off of the basket that held all of your eggs, you might realize that you were flattered into giving your entire life away in service of a man who only ever saw you as a commodity, because I assure you, that is how these men see you. And being hot property won't have protected you from a life of being used up and discarded. But here's the kicker. You'll have sunk so much of your life into proving your own politics right that you won't be able to direct that rage in the appropriate direction, because that will mean admitting that you were had.
No. Like, this woman's just reducing every conservative into one thing. Like, this is like as if it's an act that all these people are going through every single day, and that one day we're going to wake up and realize the error of their ways. Like most, and maybe this blonde is too young to understand like what it actually means to be conservative. Maybe she is being a little foolhardy by putting herself out as, oh, I'm a conservative and I'm smart. Whatever. I think it's equally disgusting and stupid for this woman to, like, how old are you, lady? This girl is like probably half your age. You could probably be her mother. Like, first of all, leave her alone, you weirdo. Like, again, this is like, it's such a cry for help that she can't even like she's got to belittle this girl who feels that she knows in her heart of hearts that she's a conservative and she wants to conserve her values and not be frivolous and wants a high value man. And then this dumbass comes along and is like, one day you're going to wake up lonely. No, bitch. One day you're going to wake up lonely with your fucking cats licking your dumbass. I'm not even going to say what I'm going to say. I'm not a Christian man, but I'm going to defer to the Lord on this one.
Defer to the Lord.
So there you'll be, a middle-aged woman with a pert haircut and great Botox, standing in line at a Kroger, making the fact that your life didn't turn out as promised into an assistant manager's problem, because don't they know that exceptions are supposed to be made for you? Good luck, babe.
Good luck. It didn't work out for me. So that's the way it is for everyone, because that's how you think. You just play the perpetual victim. Get over yourself, honey. Christ. Back in chat a little bit here. And he said, I've only seen looking for girlfriend requirements, female optional. My wife always tells me one of her greatest achievements was finding a husband that can provide for her. Opposite of this woman. Right. Well, and that's the thing. That's the greatest trick I think that modern feminism has pulled on women, is that they have to replace men, not work alongside them. Like they think that their role as a caregiver and is a weakness, and that men's role as a provider is toxic. Like that's the greatest trick that modern feminism has pulled, and it's made a lot of low value men, and it's made a lot of low value women, because again it hurts. Like they think, oh, I can do anything, again, like people can do sex work if they want, that's up to them, but they turn that into, they turn body objectification into, or they turn the body into a commodity that can be just traded willy-nilly. There's nothing sacred about it anymore. You're just a vessel, and you're not even a sacred vessel at that. You just go, it's all transactional. Your body is a way to, and that's, I think that minimizes who women are. I think if you're going to prop women up really, like, you need to understand how special it is that their body is able to create a life, the what they go through to create that life. I think you have once you see it happen, you understand like a little bit better, and you learn to value like what a woman actually does provide. And it's not just, you should fight to be a CEO and take down every man. Some women, that is perfectly fine to do, but trying to trick every woman into believing she needs to replace a man in order to be something in this world is a great trick and a big lie.
The thing is, there is value in every position, not just in a corporate world, but at a home life as well. Being a mother, being a father, there's value in every position. Yep. And every single one of it is just as important.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Art of the World says, maybe she didn't suck. I think you might be right there. You think she was dating Tiger Woods before the Swedish model and the barmaids? And he says, I saw one of Tim Pool's videos today saying 56% of women likes what she thinks is gaslighting. You mean 56% of women like what the young girl is saying, like being, having conservative values? Is that what you mean? Honestly, I think women like this are just nihilists. They are jaded and want to destroy others' happiness. Yeah. They take their own personal experience and project that on every single other person. Like, this is what everyone's like, and it's just not true. Like, you have to be able to reconcile your own experiences with like the broader world and realize like that should just make you more cautious in the future. Like when you are pursuing a man in the future, now you know where to put the wall up and where to bring it down. Like it shouldn't be how you judge every single person. And a girl who just wants to be proud of who she is, like, real nihilists make their own purpose. She is just evil, wanting to destroy. Yeah. Wanted women with fishing boat, please send pictures of a boat. Yes, I think sex work devalues a person. That's why you should watch hentai.
I think just sex in general has been devalued by cultural standards over time. Very much so.
Well, I forget who said, I took that saying, it may have been Shapiro that said, Ben Shapiro said, like, when you make sex transactional is like really when you start to lose that quality. Like now it's just about the money to exchange for that person's body. And like when you're like,
it's just not as sacred. It's not as loving,
right.
I would say.
Right.
And it doesn't make it as special.
Yep. Oh, for sure. And it's like the same example. Like, so like when someone gives you $5, do you value that $5 the same way you value you earning the $5? Like on your own, like you worked for $5, you hold that much longer than when someone hands you over $5, right? You're like, oh, this is free. I can just do whatever I want with it. That's the same thing that is happening with like people who sell their body on these websites. Like you're not making it, like there's nothing left to the imagination. All I have to do is go online and pay for it. I don't have to work for anything. I just hand over cash and I get booby pictures. I can see someone's feet. Like, nah, man, I want to work for it. Like, I can't see him on the first date, so I got to be good. So I'll get the second date, and she could take off her socks finally. You know, like that's the work you got to put in. That's the work, gentlemen.
Oh God, I can see her ankles.
But it's just it's. But to your point, like when you make something transactional that way, it loses its value.
Yep.
You know, like what has made women so. I mean, men. Like every other mammal out there, like you have to prove yourself to your mate, whether it's peacocking or whatever it might be. A peacock's not a mammal, but you know what I mean? Like there's certain requirements that men have or the male part of the species has in order to gain the favor of the woman in order to reproduce.
See, what's the term? The thrill of the chase.
Right.
You know, having that thrill of the chase makes it more exciting, makes it more special,
Mm-hmm.
makes it more endearing.
Yep. Yeah. Where's my thing?
So if you make porn into a video game like Destiny, where you have to work for it, then it's fine.
No. I never expected Shags Santino. Shags Santino. What? Well, I missed the joke.
Shag Santino.
I can only think it means like maybe it's a cross like Quentin Tarantino and Shag Santino.
What?
I was trying to do the beginning of Pulp Fiction, the whatever that is. Shags plus Tarantino. That's what I thought. Okay. Like, and that was like that whole segment there is like that's the cultural collapse I think we're witnessing, is when people can't, like, we can't just be good to one another. Like, I'm sure, like, I know there's my progressive friends out there. They're really great people. They take care of their families. They're raising good people. Do I agree with what they're espousing, online? No. I think they're doing a disservice to the general like population. Oh, I see, Silvar. That's funny. Like I think they're doing a real disservice to the larger culture. Like I think perpetuating victimhood on people who aren't victims is not good. I think pushing people to do sex work and calling it some noble activity is not good. I think it devalues life. It devalues women. I mean, just 20 years ago, like if you were to tell your family that you were going to go be a stripper, I mean, you would be apprehensive to do so. And now people don't think twice about it. Like, yeah, I run an OnlyFans and, I'm paying my credit card debt off. I'm paying for my mom's house. Like, cool. I mean, that's great. That's a great amount of cash, I guess. Like, I guess if I were making that much money, I probably wouldn't be complaining either. But
I mean, to each their own, and based on how they value themselves.
Right. But I will say that's exactly. I have to push back on it, because if I would be doing a disservice to people in general if I didn't say, hey, this is not the way to live. I don't think it's smart. I think you're worth more than that. And again, though I might be singing a different tune if I was making like $3 million a month, selling pictures and bags of my ass hair, like I'm sure I would be singing a different tune.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you think about it. I mean, these cultural appropriations that we think of now today, just as, involving sex in general, it goes to the younger audience of such things.
Right.
And how they reflect the world. And I feel like it ruins. I think it ruins the whole moments.
One second.
You got a new side salad there? What's going on?
No. At work, I'm just not feeling good. I had to force myself to like be here tonight because my wife is out at the moment. And I am like, I finally caught what everyone else had the past couple of weeks. So my throat is sore. I can feel it coming on. I can feel the fever starting. And I was like, I have to show up tonight because I've been talking about this for a week. And last week was like devoid of live streams. And I just like, I need to be here. I want to be here. But was telling my boss, I'm like, I think I need to I'm just going to dump my, like tomorrow and Wednesday, like vacation time. And I'll just take this whole week because we're off on Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. But like,
we had the same gunk last week. It was nasty.
It was rough. It's been rough here at our house. And I think part of it is too, is I've been working in the basement. And I finally finished all the wallpaper. I spackled a bunch of stuff. And then I cut up the carpet and was yanking that out and like rolling it up. And I think a lot of the fucking debris got in my lungs. Like I was wearing a mask for a lot of it. And
I was worried that you were going to say there was like black mold underneath the carpet. And I was going to be like, ugh.
There's a couple spots like on the lower part of the wall. I can't tell if it's like, so there's some sort of like on the floor. I think they use like some sticky like glue to hold the under part in, but it's black. Like it's a black adhesive. So I can't tell if the black spots on the wall are from that or if there is mold behind it, but I have to cut that part out to see behind it. Cause if there's mold on the framing behind the wall, that's bad. We got to clean it. So
yeah,
it's just, don't do renovations unless you're ready to really get your fucking hands dirty. What's going on up here? I'm pointing my generation as one buying gamer girl bathwater. Oh, I think I was talking about my ass hair, like selling my ass hair.
Well, that was like the whole thing, wasn't it? Where like the gamer girl bathwater. Who was that? I can't even think of her name. It's fine if I don't remember because she really wasn't worth it. But it was like a whole thing. Like this chick was just selling her bathwater to these gamers, and they would do crazy stuff with it.
Oh, it's weird. It
got weird quick.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole thing. So, you can just like sell your underwear online. Oh, you could just sell your feet pics. Bella something with pink hair. That you got the idea. I just don't know her name or her internet entourage name.
Yeah, I forget her name. Yeah, but is it Bella Delphine? Is that her name? Delphine? I don't know.
Delphine.
Yeah, Bella Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah, she looked like a fucking anime character. Yeah. So strange. So strange. So that's that. What?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna wrap it up.
I was just gonna say, good on her. I mean, she made money.
Yeah, man. You know, like I said, free market capitalism. I'm all for it, but you know.
His wife is telling him, "Do you treat me like property over here?"
No, she's not even here. So it's like I'm like making sure.
Your boys, yeah.
Oh, he's so bad. My youngest is so bad at sleeping now. It's so bad. Okay, guys. So that's going to be it for this episode. For the first one, I want to keep the show about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the stuff we have to talk about. I think it's a good sweet spot. And like I said, I'm under the weather and it looks like I have to go to work tomorrow, which is fine. I can muscle through it, but I'll be off Wednesday. So I'll be able to get some more stuff done. There's some stuff we're working on under the hood a little bit that I have to keep up with. Like I said, the last week or so has been a little nutty with my own personal schedule. So this Wednesday, this Wednesday we have Carrie Smith on the midweek hump. So if you don't know Carrie, she has her own show on YouTube called Deprogrammed. She's awesome, awesome individual. I was on Comics Division stream a couple weeks ago for the election stream, and she was on there as well. But Carrie's very, very nice. She'll be on Wednesday night starting at 9 p.m. Tomorrow night we're going to do another episode of this, so we'll pick some more news stories that are in the zeitgeist tomorrow, and we'll go over them. I'll do a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more research and talking on certain things, but
I may or may not be here. I'm usually the background guy.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, if there's something you want to chime in on, by all means.
I mean, it is. Yeah, of course.
But that's the basic format of the show. Pick like 3 or 4 things to talk about, and talk about them and give my perspective on it. The show will feel less clunky as time goes on. It just needs time, and like I just need more time to sort of work through things and talk about things on my own, because it helps refine my voice a little bit more. So,
and honest 12 to 13 viewership average is pretty decent.
Yeah, no, we did good. It was a nice night. Got some views over on Twitch. We got views over we had a couple on Rumble. We have 4 over on Rumble right now. So I appreciate everyone that has come on whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble. There's going to be Rumble live streams for gaming. That's we're going to be doing a lot of gaming as well. I have on OBS, I have like a multi RTMP plugin now, so I don't even need to pay for like the restream shit. So we'll be doing live streams through Twitch, YouTube, Rumble from now on. Rumble's trying to build their gaming side, so I highly recommend you go over there. Join the Locals. Locals, a link is down in the description. If you guys want to support me on a monthly basis, we don't have Twitch subscriptions anymore. It's all done through Locals and or Ko-Fi, whichever one you would like to do. There's going to be weekly vlog updates on there. So usually Mondays I'll probably put something else out, like just kind of catching you up on my weekend antics, things that are going to be happening in the future, guests that we're going to have on, and we'll be doing specific content just for people who are subscribers on there. So if you guys want a deeper look into what I'm doing, come on in.
I'm not sure how much deeper I want to look.
So much ranch. The deeper you go, the more ranch it gets.
I like that shirt.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Just head down to the link. There's a merch link down there. You can buy the shirt all for yourself. Anyone in the chat who wants one, and Rock, if you want to rock one day. I want to get some stickers printed up to send to people. If you go deep and find ranch, would you call it a ranch pie?
Gross.
That's too many social media platforms. Well, honestly, Darkopter, you just pick the one that you want to support on. Like I cast out to multiple platforms because there's like an audience everywhere, and it's, it doesn't hurt anything to be looking at these other ones. But if you want to support on YouTube, awesome. If that's the only one you want to do, great. How about just email me?
I'll fax it to you, Darkopter, just for you.
No, I don't use Restream. If I'm going live to play a game, there's a plugin through that you can get through OBS that you can, as long as it has RTMP, you just set up, you get the link, the URL, and then you just go. You won't have the chat. You'd have to keep a window open with the chat of that other site, which is annoying, but it's still really good. So I can multicast to Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey if I wanted as well, which will come in very handy on our live streams on Wednesday, since we're doing a sort of Odyssey after hours. YouTube and Gilded is about it. Yeah, we gotta. So if you're on Locals, I put my Gilded in there because I'm starting to build on Gilded as well.
I need to check that.
Kashua Sahabade.
I said facts.
All right, y'all. You guys have a great night. We're gonna head out of here. Like I said, join me again tomorrow. We'll be talking more shit. Gonna throw Gilded in the chat, sure. it's very, very basic at the moment, but we're starting. Where is it? Invite friends. If you guys want to join my Gilded, that's oh God. Just do it to YouTube rather than every. There you go. That's my Gilded right now. But again, there'll be more stuff coming out. There'll be more refinements. I'm a mod on Geeks and Gamers Tabletop Gilded. If you ever need any help. Oh, thanks, man. For sure.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you guys have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night, 100%. Rock is looking for some editing work. If you guys looking to get some stuff edited, Rock is here to save the day. Shoot him a message on Discord or Gilded. He's in both of them, I believe.
Yes, I'm on both.
Yep.
Discord, Gilded. You could even private message me on Twitter if you want to. I use the same name for basically every platform. The Rock Reina, yada yada.
Yeah. So he needs some work. So hit him up if you need someone to get something pretty for you. He does a lot of the stuff that we use here on this channel. So, all right, guys, be good. I said tomorrow I'll be back. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Carrie Smith. That's what we're doing. And that's it. You guys have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. Where's my thing?
I like to put stuff online.